Okay, we got Liverpool humiliated by Man City, Arsenal dumped out by the Saints, West Ham, Leeds, crazy game, Chelsea cruising. Hi guys, welcome back to the United by the Crossbar podcast. I'm your host Daryl. I'm here with big man Reese. We send my bro.
I'm good, man. Apart from Liverpool, it's just disappointing, innit? But we'll get into that. But weekend's been good round of football and stuff. You know what I mean? It's been all
Yeah,
right.
it's been a lot of
Arsenal kind of picked me up. Arsenal losing, that's the kind of only highlight for me. Arsenal, but yeah, man, I'm all right, man. I'm all right. I'm there. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm not too bad, bro. I've just been chilling the bank holiday, enjoying that, nice weather and that. Make the most of it we can.
Exactly.
All right, bro. Yesterday, West Ham 2, Leeds 2. Crazy game. They lost on pens, but bro, Leeds had the game wrapped up till the 92nd minute, and then flipping West Ham thought they looked up, they saw 11 minutes over extra time.
That's
The
enough
man scored
time.
2 goals in 5, man, and then yeah,
11.
crazy game, bro. They should have had it wrapped up. Leeds must be disappointed at first, but West
Of
Ham,
course.
how do you feel after coming back and then dropping it, man?
Probably a bit deflated, but it was penalties they lost. And when it's penalties can 9 times out of 10 go either way. It's like winning the lottery. It's not really decided, but because they offer now a lot of the time in games, they offer like 10 minutes. If the other team's in form and you can't get out and you're pinned in, 10 minutes, 11 minutes is a long time. You can get 2 or 3 goals in 11 minutes because people who've seen it in 4 or 5 minutes come back. So 11 minutes. But obviously Leeds should have seen the game up there even after 2-1. Don't panic. Don't panic. If you need to make a defensive sub, make a defensive sub or put an extra guy in midfield. Just four banks of four. Should have really seen it out better, but this is the FA Cup. That's kind of the beauty of the FA Cup. Um, so yeah, good game though. Very entertaining game. What do you think?
Yeah, most definitely. But did you see at the end, straight into extra time, ball plays over, goalkeeper heads up in the air, bro. Castellanos tucks it in from a tight angle,
Oh,
offside by his shoulder, bro. But his feet were level, and you're sitting there thinking, come
well,
on.
we talk about this again. Give the advantage to the
Over
attacker.
it.
Measure
Give the
by
advantage.
not all these other body parts. It's getting too technical. It doesn't need to be all technical like that.
But there are 2 goals. There are 2 goals ruled out. But in the end, Leeds won in the penalties. Disappointing, man. To be honest, I'm surprised West Ham put out such a strong team. 9 that they got Premier League football, they got their survival to go for. They put out a strong team, Nuno put out a strong team, going for it.
He's trying to win a trophy, man. That's the aim of football first and foremost. Obviously, you don't want to get relegated, but if you got opportunity of a trophy and the opportunity to get into a semi-final, I don't blame you for going strong. Really. Yeah, you could prioritize the Premier League, but trophies, it's always trophies first for me. If you got opportunity of a trophy, you prioritize that. If you're doing more in the league, then yeah, fair enough, prioritize. But it's a trophy first for me. That's all right. It's
Like,
got to be.
there's West Ham fans leaving the stadium, and after they scored the first one, they start coming back in, bro.
They let them back in, yeah? They let them back in. I'll be like, nah, you can't come back in.
Stadium, but they're all filling the seats back up,
Nah,
you
you
know.
can't. You know that one when you go to the club and they say you can't come back in, bro. No re-entry. You're trying to come back in. Guess what? You're gonna have to pay a little extra, little £5, or you have to buy a drink if you go back in.
Go an extra 45 minutes of football, though. You get me?
But this is
Mad.
why I don't leave until obviously the last. Never say never. So yeah, I mean, if it's 3 or 4-0, that's different. 2-0, I've always said this is a dangerous scoreline because who gets the next goal? Never say never, mate. I'll be honest.
Yeah, big up to Leeds after going 2-0 up, dropping the lead to 2-2, getting a couple of goals disallowed. You're thinking their heads are dropped. West Ham got momentum and they're going to go on and win it. But big up to Leeds, they rolled their heads and they won the penalty shootout, man. They're in the
So
next round.
now,
They're in the hat.
yeah, now next round, and they got Chelsea. It will be interesting to see how that goes. Like I said, I'm rocking with Leeds all the way. I think they've already dealt with Chelsea this season at their ground in the league, 3-0. I think they gave Chelsea a little 3-0 whitewash.
I think you're right. They did. They
Then,
did.
and then at Chelsea, I'm not sure. It might have been a draw.
In the draw.
It was either a draw or Leeds win, but Chelsea ain't won. Chelsea
Mm,
ain't won. So I'm rocking
okay.
with Leeds. Leeds to the final still. I'm rocking with them. Leeds to the
Let's move
final.
on to Chelsea, though. Chelsea just cruising past Port Vale. Port Vale, let's give them credit. They've done so well to get to this point in the competition, in the quarterfinals. Do you know what I'm saying? That's big for a small cup club. Respect for them lot. Do you know what I'm saying? They've got this far. But Chelsea, after scoring the second minute, it just went, oh, you know what it was going to be. It's going to be a trashing from early. Do you know what I'm saying?
I expected them to batter them, to be honest. No disrespect to Port Vale. I just thought, well, no matter what form Chelsea's in, it's going to take a lot. And even if Port Vale were to score, I still thought Chelsea were going to win. I don't think it changes much for Chelsea, in my opinion. Yeah, they won, but it weren't someone that's supposed to be on their level. So it was kind of a free hit, but obviously big congratulations to Port Vale for getting to the stage they got to. they can kind of hold their heads high, to be
Most
fair.
definitely.
You know what I mean? But it'll be interesting now. You got, like I said, Chelsea and Leeds. Who you rocking with in that game? Obviously, I think Chelsea's at home, but it doesn't matter for me if Chelsea's home or away. They're just like how we are. They're unpredictable.
Yeah, Chelsea, they're at home. They're at home in the tie. But I think Leeds have shown some good spirit, man. They're a good cup team so far this season. You know, they've got this far. But Chelsea look dodgy, bro. So what do you think? So them getting to the semi-finals, is that giving them a boost for the Champions League spots? Or do you think that's just gonna be another problem, another game that's gonna be like, oh, they got to go to Wembley?
We'll see how it goes. Because even with Chelsea score first, I still think Leeds can come back into it. I just don't see them blowing away. I don't see them blowing Leeds away. Leeds are going to look at this as a massive game. I'm not saying Chelsea aren't, but they're going to look at it as even more of a massive game, Leeds, because they're not supposed to necessarily be in the semis. They're going to see it as we got a potentially opportunity of a trophy. They're going to try extremely hard for me. So yeah, Chelsea should win, but I wouldn't be surprised with this Chelsea. You can't really count. You can't really trust them.
They're so inconsistent.
They're very inconsistent.
Yeah, I think the only way Rossini keeps a job, I know they're saying it's going to be long term. They all say that. Do you know what I'm saying? If he doesn't finish in the Champions League, which a lot of clubs base their finances and their money spent on, if he doesn't win the FA Cup, I can't see him staying.
Regardless of whatever it is, he's not staying, bro. The
Do you
players
reckon
don't.
either way? You get Champions League and wins the cup.
Players don't rate him, man. He's Will from In Between. He's the light skin version of Will from In Between. Briefcase and glasses. I told you he's too nice for that job. You don't want it. He's too
It
nice.
seems like the dressing room's too big for him. There's too many egos in there. There's too many high paid players in there, and they all think they're,
And they're starting to be outspoken. When you
starting to
got
talk
a
as
proper
well.
senior manager, players don't just come out and start saying wild stuff. So that shows you they're not really interested in your little man. Your little man. I don't care. Your
But
little man.
that's just lacking leadership. I reckon if there was a Thiago Silva in there, he would come pull man aside and be like, bro, you can't do that. You can't talk out of turn. You can't do certain things. They're lacking that elder statesman, that leadership, that James Milner, that older
That's
figure.
part of the problem as well. So you got James. He's still a young centre. I mean, a young captain. Even though he's
26.
Chelsea,
Yeah.
even though he's Chelsea through and through. A lot of their team's young. Like Palmer was the captain the other day. That's more like a luxury captain. He's not really captain material for me. He's still young. Cucurella's kind of an experienced player. He's gone all the way with Spain, so I would have expected a bit better. Even Enzo, but a lot of these men are young. They're kind of lacking that spine of the team. Someone who's kind of won it all, like you said, whether it's a Thiago Silva, Peter Cech, guys of the past, Didier Drogba, Lampard, Terry. There is a leadership problem there, and like I said, I just think the manager's too young as well. I'm sure he's similar. How old is he? Is he early 40s or is he less than that?
They've got to be late 30s, early 40s, probably early 40s, yeah.
See, so he's young, man. Some of these man, he might be some of their oldest players. He might be man's age. I just think he's a nice guy. He's in over his head though, man. They've all got him because he's a yes man. He's gonna do as he says, do as he's told. But yeah, for me, it's a bit of a respite for them. But if we played Port Vale, we would have won. Doesn't mean things is all of
in your form or anything, are you? Yeah.
you're back and everything's rolling again. For me, it's just a little bit of respite for Chelsea until the next game.
Well, we're still next game. I think next game they got City, Man
So I'm saying
City.
it's a long day. That's 3-4-0, mate.
I'm
Sorry.
saying they're at home. So when we'll see if that Port Vale result had anything to do, I don't think it will, but we'll see what kind of team he puts out. He's obviously dropped Fernandes. We see he did just a few players, Let's move on to Southampton 2, Arsenal 1. Arsenal going out of 2 competitions in a couple of weeks. And I know people are going to say Arsenal didn't play their full team and this and that and the rest of this one. But listen, Southampton got to give them massive credit. Southampton fans, can you win the cup? Can you go all the way? Because you know what? You just put one of the favourites out. So yeah, they played really well, bro. They were on the front foot. They didn't look like a team that's sitting 7th in the championship, bro.
They look like the big club, the team that was top of the league.
That's harsh.
And the Saints got much. I'm being honest, they were controlling the pace. They were dictating the tempo. They were all up in Arsenal's face. Pause. They were like, I mean, they were pushing. They were playing good football as well. They were aggressive. They didn't come there rest on their laurels. They went for the Arsenal can hack it. They equalized. They had little moments. Arsenal's best player was Dalman, and that should be kind of ringing alarm bells. He's 16.
That's it.
I mean, he's a top player. Don't get me wrong. He's going to be such a top player. Like, I love watching him play. He's so graceful. He's like a Rolls Royce.
Yeah, he's calm on
They
the ball.
played really well, Southampton. And for me, Arsenal are lucky it was only 2-1 because they had a few chances. I think they hit the bar.
I think they got away in the first half. Before the goal, they even got away. And Mosquera made a good tackle at the end to save him from going 1-0 down earlier on.
Again, my question I ask with Arteta, Where's Raya? What are you doing? You didn't learn your lesson from the Man City Cup final. You didn't learn your lesson, mate. Come on,
Obviously,
man.
he still thinks Southampton weren't, they weren't that great. So he thought, I'm going to play the second keeper. But what was mad was, obviously, Arsenal, we talked about it last week on the last week's pod, that they pulled out 15, 16 players on the international duties. But he's pulled all those players back. But I think only 3 or 4 of them possibly started the game, which is kind of mad. And I heard a lot of Arsenal fans kicking off. They're saying, look, Declan Rice, Saka weren't even on the bench. That your best players weren't even on the bench. So Arteta obviously got it wrong, thinking they're going to deal with Southampton, and they didn't. You know what's even more worrying though? Like you just said a minute ago, they spent how much? 300 million in the summer. I personally thought they got the most complete squad in the Premier League. They got injuries, no doubt. But, bro, if you're relying on your 16-year-old player to win the game at the end of the game, that's worrying, bro. That is worrying.
Where is Rice and Saka? Facts, that is worrying. Where's Rice and Saka? I mean, you're resting them. What are you talking about? Fair enough,
bro.
you pulled them out for the friendly, but you're meant to have pulled them out to put them into this game, this opportunity of going to a semi-final. Yes, you should beat Southampton. It's going to be at their ground. So I did think Arsenal was going to win, but I didn't think it was going to be straightforward. I thought they were going to be in a game, and they were in a game, but they just ended up losing. They didn't turn up. Who's Arteta think he is, bro? Because for me, you ain't won no trophies, man. You won one trophy in COVID, but who are you to decide? Yeah, we don't need this one, we don't need that one. Yeah, you could say whoever they played is enough, but for me, play your strongest team.
Especially if you drew back from the internationals early. A lot of them are rested anyway. Play them. Start Raya. Minimum you do for me after the last mistake, like you said in the Carabao Cup, start your best keeper. That's the least.
Raya and Rice for me, because Saka obviously is not been in the form this season, so I'd play Madueke, but Rice for me has to play in that midfield, and then you got Raya as well. If you're being honest, he's probably been the best goalie in the league this season, Raya. So I don't, come on, man, it's crunch time. It's business end of the season now. So
he ain't playing like it though. Arteta is not playing like it's the business end of the season. He's not. He's thinking about Sporting and Tuesday or whatever, bro. It's not about that. You got to play. You're in the quarterfinals of the cup. Play your best team. Get through. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of mad.
Yeah. Even Sporting, don't overlook them.
I get you, but this is a cup final that you can win though. It's this quarterfinal that you can get through.
I'm going for a draw there or a Sporting win, but I'm going for a draw. But they haven't lost in 23 games in their league. So, and obviously Arsenal might want some revenge because a couple seasons ago when Sporting knocked them out the Europa or whatnot. But I'm not gonna lie, I think City smell blood, and Arsenal started this. Arsenal started this by letting them win the League Cup. Then we've added to it. As we'll get onto that kind of thing. I know it's 9 points. I just have a funny feeling Arsenal's gonna throw it all. They're gonna throw it all down the drain.
I don't know. I don't watch all the Arsenal games, but I don't know what Arteta's obsession with. Odegaard's come back from injury. He started him. Since Havertz has come back, he's just playing as much as he can. He's got this thing about Havertz that he really reckons Havertz is that good 10, and I don't agree. Or that 9, he played him behind Jesus. I don't think Havertz has ever been that good. Do you know what I'm saying? They tried to buy a 9 in Gyökeres for 70 million to put him as the 9. Why aren't you starting him? Why are you starting Havertz? He did the same thing in the cup final, I'm sure. Why are you starting Havertz, bro? I don't get his obsession with Havertz. Not that good. He's overrated. I don't get it.
Gyökeres in the last few weeks, he's
been decent. He scored a few goals.
He's been doing his job, so I can't really knock.
Okay, they're saying that he played for Sweden. They got through. He played in the games against I think it was Poland. I think it was, or whoever it was. They qualified. They got through. I hear that. So they started Jesus, but I don't see the point in starting Havertz, man. I just don't get it. I just do not rate him, bro.
He's one of Arteta's favourites, isn't it? So he's one of his favourites. So he's gonna go right back in because when he was behind, he was one of the reasons why they got him because he wanted Havertz, and it didn't work in midfield. That's why he put him as the false 9. But yeah, I think I would still lead with Gyökeres, but. Or maybe try something where you play Havertz and him. The guy who definitely should not be touching pitch at all is Jesus. I think he's been past it with all the injuries. He's a scrub. He's a scrub for me. But
I just think in the last 2 games, Arteta, in my eyes, he's lost in them games with the squads, with the starting lineup selections. Personally, and I've heard Arsenal fans say it as well. I've got a few friends that are Arsenal fans. He's basically lost them games with his bad selections. Is he trying to be too smart? You know, Pep Guardiola normally throws in them mad ones where you're thinking you'll start someone like, I don't know, in the Real Madrid, he started Rodri as a single pivot. I don't know if Arteta's trying to pull these games or I don't know what he's doing, bro, but it ain't working, bro. They've lost 2 games. They're out of 2 cups in 2 weeks and it's not looking good. Let's see what that does for their confidence because City, they look tails up, you know?
No, of course. He's got it wrong twice. The pressure's on now for me. because we're going to
He's
see
put the pressure on them though. He's
how they
done
got,
that.
and but the players as well though, because they got to step up when you're there. You got to get
That's
yourself
true.
over the line.
Make you right.
You got to get yourself over the line, and I'm sure I see something. I think West Ham and that said when Rice left, that's going to be his last trophy, his one and only trophy.
This is controlling them. That's what I see. Jeez.
Obviously, they should still win the league. They should, but it's Arsenal. No, it's not guaranteed, bro. But they should win it, but it's not guaranteed. Because, like I said, at the minute, they're doing what they do. They're bottling. So, and like I said, they still got to play City. That's going to bring it down to 6 points. City got a game in hand. That brings it down to 3 points. And Arsenal I think they got Bournemouth next. So it doesn't even,
Weekend.
yeah, but it doesn't even have to be a loss. It's just a draw.
Yeah, it drops the points.
So,
Yeah, man.
no,
It's
they
tight.
should do, but there's pressure there, man. There's pressure there. So we will see. I will be there anyway, regardless of my popcorn. I will be there with my shades and my popcorn. Don't worry. I will be there. And I'll be looking for all these Arsenal man, but I'll be outside. I'll be looking for them. I'll come to North London. Where's the parade? No parade. What's going on? Where's the parade? You man, where you at?
They're probably 9 points clear. Let's see what happens in it. Let's see what really happens, you know.
Yeah.
Man City 4, Liverpool 0, and it's just a humiliation, bro. We were in the game for the first half an hour, 40 minutes, and then bro, we just crumbled, bro. We just crumbled. City put let's go the first one. Next game, embarrassing, bro.
Folded like a deck chair at Brighton Beach, blood.
Man City being in bad form, not in great form. You do not change your formation to 4-2-2-2, bro. I don't know what he was thinking. I don't know, playing Salah as a second striker. I don't know what on earth he was doing. And, bro, it just turned into a mess.
I can't blame the manager. If you look at the starting 11, Gakpo didn't start.
Yes.
Gomez was at right back. The back line.
Yeah. They look solid. They look right.
Mamardashvili and Kirkes. You had Curtis Jones in there. Me, personally, like I said, I would start Trey. The only other player you didn't start was Rio. But you had a team more than capable of going to get a result. Obviously, we ain't the favourites. We were in the game. Like I said, I'm surprised we were in the game after 40 minutes, but we were in the game competing. But it's the same story, not really landing a glove on them. For all being in the game and being slightly better, Salah had a clear-cut chance, finished. He's a scrub. He's not good enough anymore. Been like that all season. Stop playing him. They're hearing our fan base say, we need Salah closer to the goal. We need to do this. We need to do that. He's not got it. Get him out of it. He's not got it. He's second guessing himself. Bro. Man's on 400,000. A man's taking an extra touch and can't control the ball. Ball's bouncing off him. Ekatike had a chance. Really, he should have really got on target. I know it was kind of a snapshot, but from where he was and what I expect from him, he should have really got on target. I think if you go 1-0, it might be a bit different. But even going one direct silly, I don't know what he was thinking about. O'Reilly's trying to spin you. All you have to do, you don't have to tackle him. You just have to stand strong.
Stand strong. Stand up. Mad.
Be tight, but you don't have to try and win the ball there. Never try and win the ball in the penalty box. For me,
That's just a lack of confidence in the whole defense, bro. If our captain's doing that, getting rolled and getting turned like this, it's crazy, bro. It's just stupidity,
this is
bro.
how I see
Losing
it.
his
Like, you concede one goal. Don't drop your heads. Try and get to half time at 1-0. Get to half time. It's frustrating. Yeah, you've been the better team. Silly goal. Cool. Let's keep it tight. Let's keep it compact. They're going to try and have their tails up now because they're 1-0 up. Get to half time at 1-0. No. These men go to half time at 2-0. This game's over. Like,
game's done.
Just capitulation, man. And like I said, they need to get rid of the manager because obviously, in terms of this game, he picked the right team, but subs-wise, too little, too late. Like I said, you brought guys on when it's too little, too late. You're bringing Verts off. You're bringing Rio on. Bringing Chiesa on, but you're doing this freestyling and there's still that space in midfield again where it's like a donut, a bagel midfield. And then when players are not running after them, they're not tracking their runners. They're kind of just playing through us. Van Dijk even
like nothing, bro. No, that defense or that midfielder's got no defensive mindset to think I'm going to chase runners. No one does that. They just run past you all the time, bro. It's a flipping joke. Seriously, they just let runners run past them, not picking them up. I don't know, mate. It's just a mess. I can't see where this thing's going. And you know what? As much as Salah's been amazing for us and he's given us some great memories, I'm kind of glad he's going, because judging by the way this season's gone, I don't like it when they stay there for too long and they end up ruining their legacy and everyone starts giving him pelters for the next year. If he sees his contract out, he gets you know what I'm saying? Gets rinsed for the next year or so. Everyone he leaves as not a bad player, but just scrapping. Do you know what I mean? The scraps of it.
I think he's checked out. I think a lot of them checked out, but I think he's checked out. If you look at him, he's not. A lot of the time he gets subbed. You can see he's
this
not.
guy's laughing after a bad game, bro. He's laughing around.
This is
Just
what I'm
like,
saying. This is what I'm saying. When that come out and more or less say the players kind of gave up. So Bozilla saying something similar as well. I think some of the fans left after 72 minutes. One thing I disagree with Sabozalai, and I like Sabozalai, but you was kind of wrong, and I'm going to call you out for that, is saying the fans leaving after 72 minutes. That's not what you're supposed to do. Why are they going to support you, man? You've been scrubs all season. You're not good enough. Man's paying their hard-earned money.
see, you know what you need to do? You need to go and have a go at his teammates, bro.
That's
Don't have a
what
go
I'm
at the fans that are paying their money.
saying.
Go and get a captain you off hungry and go and dig them man there out. Don't have a go at the team.
Man, in a quarter final and you're getting smoked 4-0. You're not even making it competitive. Why is man staying to support what?
To do
You
what?
Not even doing the basics well. Like, you're not even working as a team. Like, so you're in the wrong there, mate. Yeah, I know Klopp said this in the past, yeah, behind the team, but the team needs to show fight and you need to make it worthwhile. Show the fans that you're actually trying.
Get them up.
You can lose to City, but you shouldn't be losing 4-0. Sorry.
That's a humiliation. Considering how
the
last years to lose 4, mate, that's just embarrassing, bro. It's just too much. It's just disappointing. Just from the players, oh man, they're wearing that shirt. They should have a bit more pride in themselves. You know what I'm saying?
We get a goal.
So our whole season now hinges on the flipping our whole season now hinges on Champions League. We got PSG on Wednesday. What do you reckon about that?
3-0, 2 or 3-0 is respectable because I think we're going to get absolutely bad.
You reckon? I don't actually think we are. I actually think we're going to lose probably like 2-1 because PSG can see goals, bro.
Where you getting this hope? Where you getting this hope from?
I've got nothing else to hold on to because I got to do something. I got to have something to grasp onto, innit? Because it's just a mess, bro.
Man City took their foot off the gas. Yeah, it could have been more than 4. And for me, PSG are above. They're better than City. We got PSG with their attack. Open season.
I'm sit here and say we're going to get trash 5-0 because that's embarrassing.
I need this guy out. So get me. I need this guy out.
Oh, you're taking loss to get rid of him?
Yeah, because I still want to get top 5. I mean, like top 5 is not even. We lose this game, probably going to lose against Fulham on Saturday. Or draw, something like that.
Let's give us a good game as well. So that's tough on a Saturday as well, you know.
Yeah, it's going to be a long day still. It's a long day.
What do you reckon about Barcelona, Atletico Madrid? Barca at home in the Champions League.
I think that's a competitive game. I think over 2 legs.
Barca won the other night. Barca won it played the other night, a couple of nights ago. Barca won it 2-1 at Atletico.
I'm leaning towards Barca, but it will be competitive. If we're talking about all the Champions League games, over 2 legs, Barca, Real Madrid and Bayern, I'm leaning towards Bayern, but I do think it will be competitive. But I think once it gets to Bayern's ground, I think they win comfortably. I think at Real Madrid, it's going to be both teams will score.
Yeah, sorry. Would you reckon Sporting Arsenal?
1-1. I'm going 1-1. At the first leg, and then Arsenal go through at their ground, they do enough. But then I think they go out to Atletico or Barca in the next round. And then obviously, yeah, that's it. And it'll probably be PSG first, Bayern, I'm going to say. But don't be surprised if Real Madrid do the heritage thing, because they always do it.
As they do. But I can't see them beating Bayern. The Bayern are strong, though, bro.
I know, they're a top team. I'm not I think they'll still be right. Just put Elise up front, man. You just put someone else up front. They came back the other day. You know, they were losing 2-0, and they scored 3 goals in like
a few minutes. They won 3-2.
I'm saying, this is what I'm saying. And I think they had 10 men or something. I'm sure they might have had 10 men. So this is what I'm trying to say. They're really
Barca and PSG.
Top team, Bayern. They're top team, man.
Yeah. I think they win it. I think they're my favourites to win it.
I'm rocking with them to win it, to be honest. So it should be interesting.
Should be interesting. But yeah. All right, my bro, we'll leave it there, man. But thanks for jumping on, bro.
Anytime, man. Anytime.
Guys, thank you so much for the support on all the platforms. We are on 3K on YouTube. Help us keep pushing. And if you like to have a look at our merch, the link's in the bio. Support the channel. And yeah, keep passing it around, man. Appreciate it. Thanks, guys.